No 40-mile-an-hour winds, no hail, no tornado sirens? What's our excuse for not catching fish now? For the first time in weeks, the entire country's getting a break, and that means this might be the best fishing weekend of the year. Welcome back to Bass Prediction Center, where we're tracking weather, seasonal patterns, and tournament trends to help you catch more and bigger bass. Guys, we are late. We are getting this video out on Saturday night. Sorry about that. I had a lower unit problem on my engine that I was working on all day yesterday, and then I had 2 birthday parties to go to today. So we're a little bit late, but that's all right. We're going to get it out for you. We're going to talk about Sunday and Monday mostly, and we will talk about Tuesday a little bit. So right now, this is our map. It's the same as earlier in the week. We have pre-spawn all the way up here to the Canadian border. A lot of guys catching fish up here. Probably this spawning line here, this is going to be moving north rapidly right now. So if you're in South Dakota, be starting to look for bass on beds. Southern South Dakota, Pennsylvania, you got bass on beds. The whole Midwest, you're going to start having bass on beds. Pretty soon this spawn line, probably next week, will be all the way up here. Post-spawn, it doesn't move a lot right now because you still have fish spawning. There's an overlap right in here. So there's fish spawning and there's post-spawn fish all through this region. The Dixie Alley, Oklahoma, all the way through California. So if you're in these regions, definitely can, if you can target post-spawn fish or you can target spawn fish. This was proved at the Lake Fork event where some guys are catching bass on beds, some guys are catching post-spawn fish. So a lot of options this time of the year in May, so super awesome time to fish. And then super summer patterns are starting to break out here in South Florida and South Texas. So let's move on.
You can see all of our 8-strand lines, tackle boxes. Let me show you.
All right, guys, we officially did it. We made 500 subscribers just the other day. We will be giving the Beyond Braid tackle box and spool line away to one of these lucky subscribers. I will announce the winner on the Tuesday release of the weekly forecast. So tune in on Tuesday to see who the winner is, and I will contact you personally to tell you you're the winner. Don't listen to any other spam that might be out there. So thank you, everyone who subscribed. We're going to keep this thing growing. We'll have a new goal coming up soon.
The St. Croix Bassmaster.
All right, if you guys aren't watching what's going on over at Lake Fork, you are missing out because it's an absolute beatdown of giant bass. Kyoya Fujita has over 100 pounds in 3 days, and there's a bunch of guys right behind him. This is insane. Guys are catching absolute giants. We're talking 30-pound bags daily here. Kyoya had 31, 34, and 35. That's insane. Almost 36 pounds today. You got Paul Mark sitting right behind him here. Guys, super fun tournament to watch. A lot of big fish being caught, but you have guys at the bottom that didn't catch anything. So Fork is a tough place to fish. It's where I learned to bass fish, like professionally, not professionally, but tournament style. So really tough place to fish, but it has giants in it. So check out Bassmaster.com for the final day. Tomorrow should be a super fun event to watch. A lot of guys going to hit that century mark, and anybody could win. All right, looking at your weather for the next 3 days, the vast majority of the country has really great weather for fishing right now, okay? Let's go to the HER here. This is a little bit more accurate for the next couple days, probably through Monday night. So let's look at precipitation here, which possible storms might be firing up. Right now, we had this low pressure system. My original plan was to do the best weekend of the year for fishing because it looked like there wasn't going to be any storms at all in the whole country, but this low pressure system creeped in here. My friend lives down here in Bonifay, Florida. Shout out Richard. Had a tornado go right by his house. Luckily everybody was okay, but his neighbor's house got some damage, it sounded like. So this low pressure is sitting here and it's just drawing moisture up from the Gulf, which is bringing some thunderstorms over and over and a lot of rain. Luckily for Florida, they actually needed some rain. They're in a drought, but it's going to be more of the same over the next 2-3 days, all the way into Tuesday. This is just going to slowly move its way north. This thing is going to dump a ton of rain all along this East Coast, Carolinas, Georgia, Florida. So if you're in these areas, probably not the best time to be fishing, but everybody else in the country is looking great. A little bit of rain in the northwest, pretty normal, but not too bad right now. Looking at our winds for the next few days, we'll just talk about Sunday and Monday mostly, and then we'll have the forecast come out on Tuesday for the rest of y'all. All right, winds like I said, not too bad at all. Around that low pressure system down in Florida, definitely breezy around there off the shore especially. So if you're fishing in the ocean on the East Atlantic side, it could be very breezy. But until we get to Monday night, where winds are going to pick up big time here in the Mountain West, everything else looks fantastic. Little batch of winds here up in the northern plains, but the rest of the country, you're fishing for sure. Really nice weather. The Mountain West, you guys are getting some winds for some reason, but nothing too crazy, 10 to 20. The rest of the country all over here, from the mountains east, you're looking great. California looking great. So get out there and fish on Sunday. Get out there and fish on Monday. Should be really nice days to fish. Unless you're in these storm areas, you're going to want to have your kill switches engaged and your life jackets on if you're out in the water. Watch out for lightning, for sure. All right, Sunday's high temperatures for the country. Everybody's looking pretty good. These storms are bringing a little bit cooler, rain-cooled weather here. So you're around 60 degrees, which actually for you guys right now, post-spawn weather should be really nice. It makes the temperature a lot better to get out there and fish. So if you can avoid the storms, the weather should be a lot nicer. It was in the upper 80s for you guys, so it was hot. Southern Florida, you're still looking 90 degrees, of course, this time of the year, all the way through next 2006. You're going to be 26, you're going to be hot. But southern Texas, upper 80s, 70s all throughout the southern plains. And then you're up in South Dakota, you're up to 90 degrees in some spots, North Dakota here. So 80s and 90s all through here, big warm sector. The Northwest, you're around 60 degrees, pretty normal. Southwest, hot. And then the Northeast, you're still in the 50s. Stays cool up there in the Northeast for sure. Let's see. On Monday, more of the same. This hot weather kind of pushes up into Canada, so really warm from there all the way down through Texas. As this low pressure system moves to the north, it is going to cool things down with all that rain. The Northeast warming up nicely, up to 65 degrees here in Maine, which is nice for you guys. The Northwest has a little bit of a cool down. You're down in the 40s in some areas. Not the best weather to be fishing, but hey, get out there if you can. And California, really nice weather, 60s, 70s, 80s. Really nice weather all the time in California, right? We'll look at Tuesday here since it's right here. Big cool down coming here in the Northwest. You're going to want to be cold front fishing up here for sure, because this is going to be a big change for these fish, especially with the night temps dropping. California, definitely cooler, which is actually nice for you guys. You're talking 60s right now, really nice. Texas, on the other hand, really hot, and you're dry. Not good for Texas, 96, 100 degrees. This warm weather you can see all the way up into Canada here. So Nebraska, the Dakotas, Minnesota, really warm weather all the way through here. A little patch of 70s in here. Pretty nice weather overall, to be honest. You can get out and fish. Pennsylvania area, as this front's pushed up here, bringing that cool air, and then warm out in front of it. So it should be some really good fishing on Tuesday here if you're in Maine or all along the Canadian border here. Florida warming right back up. And that's your temps for the next few days, guys. All right, guys, this is your total rainfall through Tuesday at close to midnight. I believe Tuesday 1 a.m. So Tuesday 1 a.m., you're looking at these areas here, 3 to 4 inches of rain, which is quite a bit for here because the soil's already very moist. The rivers are full, maybe 4 or 5 inches in some spots. So just if you're in these areas, be really careful. If you're in flooded areas, watch out for floating logs. Don't rip your outboard off. Fish are going to be moving up into bushes for sure. In these areas, they've had a lot of rain. So get out there, get your flipping stick out. If you're going to be fishing and you can avoid the storms, get out there and start getting up in those shallow waters. Those fish are going to move up there with all that water flowing in. Should be a really fun time to fish. If you have some sort of way you can ship some of that water over to Nebraska. It has not rained all year, basically. I think we've had maybe half an inch since January. So really could use some moisture over here. It doesn't look good for us for quite a while. So lakes are starting to get low, but some parts of the country are experiencing flooding. So it's a really crazy year for that. Luckily, we haven't had too much severe weather. Fish absolutely love that.
Oh my gosh!
This week we're going to talk about flooding. I have Dr. Bass Harrell over me. So we're going to be talking about flooding because the Red River is flooded and there's a lot of flooding going on in the southeast, a lot of post-spawn fishing going on, but you have floodwaters. So let's say you have a reservoir and you want to find out where to fish when it's been flooding. Areas you're going to want to avoid are the very far end of the lake, especially if you've had like 4 or 5 inches of rain. This is going to be completely washed out if you have a big inflow here from this river. So this whole area is going to be super muddy, very tough fishing. If you're a master in the mud, kudos to you. Get out there and catch them. What I look for So these pockets, these bigger pockets here on the lake, are going to tend to have bigger inflows. They're bigger creeks. They're going to have more water running into them. They're going to tend to muddy up more. But these pockets here, these mid-sized pockets, mid-lake or more towards the dam, have a little bit less inflow. They might just have a little drainage area like that, whereas this might be a major creek, and this is a major creek. So these smaller pockets that are closer to the dam, mid-lake or closer, that water's going to rise in those areas, going to rise up into the bushes, into the grass, make some awesome fishing cover, but at the same time help you avoid the mud. So find those mid pockets, catch more and bigger fish. That's your tip for this week, the real tip that'll catch you more fish. Welcome back to the tip of the week with me, Dr. Bass. First, we have a video from a local subscriber who used one of my tips to catch his new personal best. Here he is.
Thank you, Dr. Bass, for the biggest bass of the century.
Our tip of the week this week has to do with keeping your crankbaits perfectly tuned so the bass's lateral line can sense them so nice. The bass's lateral line senses perfectly at 440 hertz. You want your crankbaits running at exactly that frequency. Otherwise, you're not going to catch any fish. So what you want to do perfectly is to get a tuning fork. A tuning fork will help you catch more fish. You tap it on a hammer or something metal, you put it near your crankbait, and the crankbait will be perfectly tuned. You can also use a guitar tuning app on your phone. A D major will perfectly tune your crankbait. This one I have tuned already. Let's check to see if it's okay. Ah, that's perfect. 440 hertz. Sounds like something the bass would love to eat. Guys, if you love these tips, we will have another one next week that will have to do with big, huge worms. Check it out. Wow, that was Dr. Bass with another great tip. Thanks, Dr. Bass. Anyway, our Beyond Braid baits of the week, we're going to review these right now. If you guys want to go over to beyondbraid.com, you can use code BPC at checkout, and you'll get 10% off any item over there. They have some really great tackle boxes, the best braid on the internet right now. They have some awesome colors, different types of braids, so check them out. BeyondBraid.com if you haven't used it. It's super good braid. I use it every day. Really nice stuff. Our pre-spawn areas, right now I'll be throwing this Strike King Hybrid Hunter, especially in lakes that have grass, or timber, either one. This thing comes through those things really well. It has a super loud rattle. It triggers giant bass to strike. So guys, check out a Strike King Hybrid Hunter if you haven't already. Spawn areas, this is one of my favorite bed fishing baits. It's a Strike King Rage Craw, or any white craw would actually do. The white drives them nuts in the bed, bright colors, so get this right in the middle of their bed, they're going to eat it for sure. Strike King makes a great product, so check out a Strike King Rage Craw for spawning areas. Postspawn, this is the Spro. I think it used to be called a BBZ shad, but it's just a Spro 4-inch shad now. This is a wake bait. It's not a huge wake bait like a Buka shad, which is also awesome, but this is a little bit smaller. It gives you a little bit more confidence. This golden shad color is super awesome. When they hit this thing, they absolutely torch it. So check out this Spro shad if you guys want to see some awesome strikes. And then summer areas, this is my absolute favorite summer bait, a big, huge worm, especially a 10 to 12-inch power worm. Check out my TikTok. I've done some funny videos on this lately, but the 12-inch power worm or the 10-inch. And don't be afraid to throw a big, huge worm because even small bass can eat these things. So those are the baits of the week, guys. Brought to you by Beyond Braid. Go to beyondbraid.com and use code BPC10 at checkout to get 10% off anything on this in the store. That is your BPC end of the weekend forecast for week 13. Tuesday we'll have the weekly forecast coming out. The weather's been pretty good for most of the country this week. I know in Nebraska it's been 82 degrees every day. Been out on the boat for sure after I got it fixed finally. It's running better than ever. Got a tournament coming up on Saturday, so I'll have my rod breakdowns on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram Reels if you like to see that kind of stuff. And then we'll have a tournament breakdown after I fish that tournament on Saturday down at Cedar Bluff Lake in Kansas. And that'll probably be our Lake of the Week on Tuesday, so if you want to check that out, it should be pretty cool. Bass are biting. We've got nothing stopping us for once, so no excuses to get out there and fish tomorrow unless you're down there by Florida. Definitely don't want to be safe. Comment below where you're fishing next weekend, and maybe we will feature it this week in the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. We're going to have a new goal coming out. We'll announce that on Tuesday, and don't forget we have the giveaway coming out. We'll also announce that on Tuesday in the video. And for now, tight lines, and I will see you guys out on the water that are in my area, so don't be stealing my spots.